All right, guys, welcome to my live. So I decided to go live today um, because I wanted to bring you in. It's a slow night. I'm actually heading up to the Hagerstown market because I couldn't get on in my market here, so I decided to dash along the way, and it worked. You know what? I'm going to change this. Sorry, guys. I think I got out. Anyways, so I decided to change it up and use the cheat method where I got on essentially because I was able to dash in this market simply because I'm dashing away and I knew it was not busy, it just wasn't showing. And sure enough, I got a decent order. I got like a nine, I think it was a 975 order, going 6 miles exactly along the way of the direction I want to head anyways, or I'm going to head anyways and see if I get anything else. But um, I got a contract violation. I want to go over that too as well. Why not live? What happened? It was again related to my phone malfunctioning. I think I was at doing a large order program, and if somebody watches this and they know, I don't know if your ability to participate in a large order program goes away for 100 orders if you get a contract violation or not. But if it does, I guess that's what's going to happen to me, unfortunately. But essentially, I got a 1025 order. I recognized it right away because of the little floating widget that it had over $100 subtotal, and picked it up. Got to the restaurant about 4 minutes past the pickup time because there was some traffic. It was just one of those situations where DoorDash gave it to me like 2 minutes before pickup. But I knew there was going to be a wait at this restaurant anyways. But anyways, I got to the restaurant and my Samsung phone was glitching and not allowing me to mark arrived. And it kept telling me my GPS wasn't matching up. And I'm like, okay, which I was having problems up in this area with cell phone connectivity. So I cleared the cache, got out of it, got back in, whatever. Eventually, I just had to force it through. And I ended up waiting at the restaurant for probably about 8 minutes for the order. And it just so happened I was just actually at the restaurant messing around, flipping through my stuff, and I went in to go see thinking about my customer ratings. So I haven't checked today to see how yesterday went in and out of contract. And the interesting thing is, it never even notified me of a contract violation. So I'm sitting in the restaurant, literally typing the response while I'm on there, like, I can't believe you all gave me a freaking contract violation. It claimed I didn't arrive until, I guess it was like 13 minutes after. And I don't know, man, it just really pissed me off. It gave me the contract violation while I'm standing in the restaurant, claiming that, let's see here, I got an add-on to this order of $8.32. Is that worth it? Why not? I guess why not? We're good down there. Anyways, so I don't know. It's just frustrating. So I typed in my responses, got all that done, and then left the Charlestown market because it was very slow up there. Now, like I said, I'm dashing along the way to go to Hagerstown, where I have to go pick up something later this evening anyways for my wife. And I thought, you know what? I'll dash along the way, see if I can pick a few orders up, and that's what we're doing. So I am pulling into Cafe Del Sol right now. I'm going to run in here, grab this order, and I will be right back. And then we've got to go pick up a Wingstop order as well and go from there. But it's just highly frustrating. So this order was, I believe, highly frustrating. It really is to get a contract violation like that. And it's just, my perspective on these Android phones is they've caused me a lot of problems. I still think with the driver utility app, they're worth it, but I do not have I've never had this many issues with my iPhones. It's just they don't have the ability to participate in some of these apps that really does help your functionality. Um, So whoever's in chat, hello. Oh, I got a contract violation for being late tonight to a restaurant, but I was actually there on time. It was just my Android phone was when I went to go check in. Hello. When I went to go check in, it was not allowing me. My GPS wasn't matching, so I kind of forced it through after trying to clear the cache, reset my app. I was having some functionality, but essentially at the end of the order, they ended up giving me a contract violation. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was at the restaurant like 4 minutes after I was supposed to pick up, but I actually ended up waiting on the order for an additional 8 minutes when I arrived. And I'm just like, this is nuts. So I responded, provided them all the information, details, and know from experience it's not going away. I was wanting to know if anybody knew out there if having a contract violation affects your ability to participate in the large order program, which I just got into, and I was actually doing a order for the large order program. And when I did this, it was a large order. It ended up being a $16 payout. It really wasn't that big of a deal, but I was just curious if that was going to affect my eligibility for that program, but I don't know. So if you know, put in the comments if you know. And then I'm actually at a pickup right now, so I'm going to go in here to this restaurant. Hopefully the order is ready and make this pickup. It's a $9.75 order for Cafe Del Sol, and then we got an $8.32 add-on for a Wingstop that's right around the corner. They do a pretty good job getting orders ready. So it's like a $17, $18 order right now that we're on. So I will be right back. All right, guys. So that went pretty good. No wait there really. It was ready to rock. And when I got in there, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, it's been out here today. I agree with you on that. Yesterday I was out and did, I think, probably maybe $60 of what I made. I made over 200 yesterday, and it was I was out for about 6.5, 7 hours. And a majority of what I did was from Uber Eats. I did some little bit of Spark, and but a majority of what I got was from Uber Eats, Grubhub. DoorDash was just, they had a lot of orders coming through, but it was just garbage as far as just, they were really low. They were like $6.25, 14 miles, or $5 for, 5 miles, or it was a lot of bad stuff. I got a few orders that were decent. I did not get any large order program orders yesterday at all while I was out, and I was out from like 10 a.m. to probably about Well, I went out 10 a.m. to about 1 at first, and then I went out for the dinner from about probably 4:30, 5 o'clock to about 8, and I did not get any good stuff at all from DoorDash, really. I mean, I got a few shorter run orders, but it was really, overall, was a disappointing order flow from DoorDash. So I think, of course, it was a Wednesday, so I chalked it up to that, because sometimes on weekends here, DoorDash has gotten better. But all right, we got to try to get over here. Unfortunately, this Wingstop shares a parking lot with Walmart, so it is always a zoo over here as far as you got to navigate and watch. They got trucks that camp out here, and it's quite ridiculous. All right, let's see here. Have to try to cut through here. And hopefully, this Wingstop always does a pretty decent job. There's the Wingstop I deal with in Hagerstown, Maryland. I do not deal with them at all because they never have their orders ready. This one normally has their orders ready. So, I'm counting on that right now. And if they do, then we can grab this order and get on the way. That's actually, I can't park there. We're going to park here. All right, guys, I'm going to run in here, see if this order is ready. Log myself here. So we're going to say 6:32 p.m. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Food was ready. Thing is, they made me, which this place does do, they have you get your own drinks. I don't know what your all's opinion is on that. I do it. I don't care. I just was like, okay, no problem. And I ended up, like I said, doing it, grabbing the food and coming out. So not bad at all. The interesting thing I found in there, that I always think is interesting. I said thank you, to when they handed me the order, and the girl ended up, it was like she was shocked. And so I don't know if Dashers put in the comments whether you say please and thank you for your orders, but it seemed like it was like she was surprised that she got a thank you. And I thought to myself, we shouldn't really be going into businesses and establishments and not being, thanking people for doing what they're doing for us. I mean, I kind of consider myself like I'm the customer, but I'm just a virtual person. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just thought it was interesting because it was like she was almost taken aback. Like, oh wow, well you're welcome. And I'm thinking, okay, I mean, you were, I guess, I'm sure, I know in my area, I've watched Dashers, as I'm standing there waiting, come in and just be absolutely ridiculous as far as being rude and angry. Come in and they have a little bit of a wait or whatever, and they're just, going off, and it's like, what are you doing? I mean, maybe that's how they act when they come in as a customer. But the way I feel is we go in there, we're just being a proxy customer for, we're standing in place for the customer. So when we are in there, they have a requirement to treat us like we're a customer, and they should prioritize us just like anybody else. And, wherever our order comes in place. So if the customer was standing in front of them, that they should be treated the same way, and we should act the same way when we go in there. I mean, yes, we do have times and things we've got to get things done in, but there's no reason why we can't act like polite human beings. But so we are on our way here. Let's see here. All right. So we are 9 minutes from our first drop-off. And hopefully all right, so we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes from our first drop-off. It said 9 minutes. I don't know why it said 9. I just dropped right to 5. No, we do not have to place the orders ourselves. Absolutely not. Nope. The orders are already placed. Now, sometimes you do. Okay, sometimes my market is in, or are you talking to Steve Harden? I was going to say, my market's Martinsburg, West Virginia. I'm in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I work Martinsburg, West Virginia, Charlestown, West Virginia, Hagerstown, Maryland, Winchester, Virginia. Those are all very close markets. And, but no, we do not have to place our orders at this wing stop at all. Nope. The orders are primarily in my area. I actually have very few orders that I have to place. and most of the time there's restaurants that are just coming into the program, and then normally within about 3 to 6 months, DoorDash will have them on board. And there was a restaurant, a Thai restaurant, a very nice restaurant. You can get, and you still do get very nice big orders from them, over $100 tickets most of the time. Well, that used to be something that you had to do, but that was before DoorDash has gotten as big as it has. But that's one method that DoorDash will use. If they don't have the restaurant on their platform, they will have you use the order and pay. And there is a couple restaurants in this area that you still have to do that with, but they've actually really tried to make it really difficult for the Dashers. In that process, if they recognize you're part of DoorDash, they will. And some of the restaurants in my area have actually refused to fulfill the order because I guess they don't want to be a part of the DoorDash platform. Because the issue that the restaurants have, and this is on Grubhub too, and in fact, we were the other night, my wife and I, looking at a Grubhub, or we were going to place an order from Grubhub, and I pulled up the website, and I noticed that there was a $3.50 markup on every item on the menu. And I think they're doing this, especially Grubhub, because they're giving away their delivery subscription now to the Amazon Prime people. So what they're doing is they're increasing the prices on the menu, marking it to recapture some of that what they're giving away, and then they charge all of them will charge a fee that's not related to delivery costs. It's just their maintenance cost. It's a maintenance fee. Hello, how you doing? And they will, so they're double dipping in effect. They're charging the extra on each item, and then they're driving up the cost of the order. Yep, and then and then restaurants get upset because it upsets the customers, or customers won't want to order from the restaurant, especially some higher dollar ones, as the price is so high. So the restaurant won't participate, at least up in my area. And then what Grubhub or DoorDash or Uber Eats will do. Uber Eats is what is pretty actually famous for right now, because they're not as big in my area, so they give you a little card. They will get around it by having somebody order for it. Let me know. I just realized it wasn't coming through strong, but is it popping, Matt? Huh. When I was doing a video yesterday with my audio, I don't know if this is actually a new iPhone. I'm wondering if maybe there's something wrong with my microphones on my phone or something, because I was having issues yesterday and couldn't figure out why. So I apologize. Of course, it also could be too my cell phone connectivity. So let me know if there's any connectivity issues or buffering issues, because this area that I'm in, AT&T goes up and down, and that's what this phone is on. So it's that's why I actually use I always will have my apps, try to log them into my AT&T account and that's what was crazy today, was when I got the contract violation, my phone was acting up. It should have logged me as being there. Just the sound seems to be popping. Okay. Move that away. I don't know if maybe it was resting on a microphone. 2:30. All right, so we're going to turn around up here so I can get on the right side of the road. Let's turn it around. Alright, so we are delivering the Del Sol Cafe order first. Alright. Let's see here. 230, 192, 202. There's 230. Alright, good. Alright, guys, we're at our first delivery. I will be right back. Please do not knock. It scares my puppies and over. All right, guys, so we made that delivery. So $225 base, $750 customer tip, $975, and we are gonna now get ready. We're 7 minutes away from the next drop off. So we're gonna log this 225, 750, and our miles 55,637. And then we got 6:47 p.m. All right, so let's see here. All right. Yeah, I hate those driveways. Yep, on a tablet actually. I've got it. I've got a little. It's an iPad Mini. So I make sure I've got it set up so I can type right into it and log it. It's much quicker, I found, and I've got a little cup holder deal that holds it up so I can pull it up, log it, and go. And that way I can keep track of everything and keep track of, you know, all the different things that I want to keep track of. It lets me know, like in this instance, I'm running a stacked order. So this order, it came in at like a $20.32 order value, which I normally want to see the order values, especially at dinner time, at least 25 or more to compensate me for any wait times or waits in between orders. But because this is a stacked order, I obviously have the Wingstop pickup in there in that time, in that first order time. I always log them as two separate orders, since they really are two separate orders. So the Wingstop order, which I'm only like, I begin that order time just for purposes of my own personal calculations at the drop off of the first order. So this is going to look like it's a huge monster. You know, we're probably between here, I think for about almost 18 bucks. And it really only took me probably, it'll end up taking me about 35 minutes. So it's not bad at all. But because this is a dash along the way, I don't know that I'll get another order right away. Although there is my home area, that there's a couple restaurants up there. There's a Mexican restaurant, a sushi restaurant that I anticipate could. There's actually two sushi restaurants. One of them is really big for large order Is there an app that will screen my dash screen? That will screenshot? Yes, there is. It's called the Driver Utility app, but it only works on Android. And the nice part about that is it automatically screenshots every single order that you take. You can set it up to do that. Now you have to screenshot your final screens, but again, whether you choose to screenshot that final screen, or you can obviously go in if it's DoorDash and have access to the final screen, information. Yeah, and I know that's probably, it's like my, what kind of phone do you have? Because I have the Ultra, S22 Ultra, and yes, in my opinion, it really is not very convenient, especially if you're holding the phone in a certain way to get that 2-button push. Now, iPhone, it's great because you can, I think it's a much more convenient push on the iPhone to get the screenshot. Now, you can also, if you have an iPhone, what I recommend you do is set up an app, okay? And you can back tap it twice or 3 times. You can set it up so that if you go to your accessibility, you can set it up and tap it twice is a screenshot, or tap it 3 times is a screenshot. I, on my iPhones, have it set up so that 3 taps gives me my camera. That way, if I need my camera quickly, and 2 gives me a screenshot. So when I'm using iPhone, I use that now. If you're using a Samsung, what I would recommend you do is, I have it set up, except my S22 is all Ultra is not set up optimally right now for the way I like to use it, because of the issues I had with having to continually wipe my phone when DoorDash was blocking me out of their app. But download GoodLock. It's called GoodLock. You got to download it in the Galaxy Store, and then download through GoodLock. It will give you access to an additional app that's run through GoodLock, which is called One-Handed Operation. And you can actually set it up so that you can swipe left on the screen, just real quick swipe. It'll put like 2 little bars on the side, and you can just swipe and it'll take your screenshot. That is a game changer, in my opinion, because even though Driver Utility app screenshots everything for you that comes through on the offer screen, it helps you to take screenshots throughout. And I always recommend, when you're on a dash, you should take a screenshot of the address, take a screenshot of the order item count, whatever the items are, and just keep it until the end of that order. Because that way, if you run into a problem where your service isn't there or whatever, you will have the address, you will have the order stuff if there's a dispute after you drop it off and somebody says, hey, you didn't drop me off a drink. Maybe there wasn't a drink on there. You can go back and see, was it your mistake? Was it the restaurant forgetting something? Or is this customer thinking they ordered something that didn't exist? So that ability to screenshot quickly, and that really makes the Samsung devices really nice, because you can set those little things, those little functionalities up where you can do the swipe screenshot, and that's just, in my opinion, really game changing for efficiency while you're out. Now I just need to get my S22 Ultra back into having all that lined up. I just haven't had time to do it, and I'm going to try to do that maybe tonight or tomorrow, because it's driving me nuts. I don't have it set up right now like that. I'm having to use the buttons for the final screenshots of the orders. But it's those little things that can help, save you a little bit of extra time when you're out, especially if it's during busy times. And then you will have your data that you can go back and look at, as long as you're getting screenshots and collecting it along the way. You can always log it later, but I think it's important that you get the data, because those are some of those data points are extremely important for you looking back on an order and trying to say, or looking back at your orders, or looking back at the business you did and saying, hey, how did this order affect things, or how did this decision affect things today? Oh wow, this is I'm delivering up near an old golf course I used to play at a long time ago, and it's actually looking in pretty good condition. All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm actually delivering to the golf course. Okay, I didn't realize that. All right, so I guess 159 Top Flight. Is this am I delivering to the golf course, or am I delivering to a house next to the golf course? That's 202. I guess I'm going to the country club. Is that right? 250 top plate. Okay. No, it must be. I must have missed the house. Is that? That can't be right over here. I guess I think I missed it because this is all the way up in the 250s. So I'll DoorDash once again. So wait a minute here. All right, let's see here. 202, 190. Okay, yeah, it's got to be a house down here. All right. Good Lord, come on. It's got to be. Let's see, what is that? Right there. Might be it. That's it. All right. All right, guys, I will be right back. Delivery, confirm. All right. So one thing to note, guys, about that order, right? So the customer had this listed as a hand it to me, but she put in the notes, drop it at my door. So of course I want to make sure I don't, I do what the customer asks, but protect myself. I always recommend. I went ahead, I put it at the door. I took a picture, and then I knocked on the door, of course. Let them know I was there. I always do that, and especially to me orders, because that's telling you they want to be notified. She came out. She came out with eye contact, and I always I like, one of the reasons why I like Samsung phones is because they have the floating widget. So I always have. Let's see if I can pull it up here. The floating widget camera, which has GPS. So what I will do, and it looks like we're getting an order. Wendy's, no way. Nope, and see, it automatically declined the order for me. I always have the floating widget up over the app, so it's floating, so it's there, and I'm recording every interaction I have and everything that's going on with the customer. And then I take a picture of the interaction of the food on these orders. It looks like they're going to do 6. Yeah, you know what? I will do that order. And we just got another order. 650 at McDonald's up here. This McDonald's does a good job. Normally I stay out of McDonald's at dinner time, but because I'm on a dash on the way and it's basically giving me $6.50 to go 3 miles I would have gone anyways, I'm going to stop by and pick it up and just keep making money. But anyways, I will take the picture and send it before I close out the app or the order, I will go into the chat, attach that into the chat, and send them a picture of the order at their door, because that does land with DoorDash, and that lands on the DoorDash servers. And that way, if they try to come back and say, hey, I didn't deliver this order, there's a picture that DoorDash will have already in their system, and I'll have it in my system as well. It's just a little way to protect yourself, because to me, I think it's interesting that somebody's going to hand it to me and right in there, leave at my door front. I don't understand that. Why not just leave it at the door? And that way it lets me do what I need to do as far as take a picture and document. So I always find that to be a little bit interesting when customers do that. Not to say that maybe they just don't know how to change it or something or whatever. I don't know. But that's just a little tip. And that's another reason why I believe Samsung really has a great UI that really can help you as a gig worker keep yourself safe and document what you need to document as far as orders are concerned, and making sure that you've got everything you need during the course of an order to show your proof that you did what you were supposed to do. And unfortunately, you just can't trust. You just can't trust people out here. Okay, so I just saw public that you have an iPhone 6S. So unfortunately, the iPhone 6S, you're not going to have. There's not an iOS app that unfortunately will do the screenshotting for you. And yes, I agree with you. I have an SE3 that I use occasionally that I had gotten free. It's a long story. I put it on my channel. There's videos of it, but I wanted to test it out, and I have one. But the point is, yes, you're correct, because you've got to use the home button and the side button in there, and that is probably the least convenient way possible. But unfortunately, iPhone does not allow access to the areas of the phone that are needed in order to create an app like Driver Utility app, from my understanding. So I don't believe we'll ever see that happen on iPhone, because unless Apple decides to give up a little bit more control. And, unfortunately, you're going to have to, if you're going to use an iPhone, you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I would just recommend right now that you consider possibly, at some point, there are good deals with an Android. I think if you're out there, I would recommend right now that if you have $100 to spend on a second phone, if you can afford to do it, get the Samsung S10e. Okay, in my research, I'm going to pick one up and test it, just because I like to do stuff like that eventually. But right now, my wife has had enough of me buying phones. But the iPhone S10e, right now, you can get the updates as they are right now. You can have full functionality of the UI. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM. It will run Driver Utility app flawlessly, and it will do everything you need. So to me, $100, if you can spend $100, you should get 1 more year of security updates, meaning you could get 2 years of use out of it. And for me, $50 a year of use, and you could probably go beyond that. You're just not going to have the security updates to protect the phone. But if you're just getting it for gig work, to me, that's a great deal. And you can get one on eBay right now for like $115. So if you're looking to, I would recommend it. To me, it's well worth it just to have the Driver Utility app, access to it, and having that there are times that I've had, iPhone issues, and I was able to pull up my Android. And I've had Android issues and been able to go in and use especially when DoorDash locked me out of my Android, and I was able to go right into my iPhone. So consider that And I know $100, I mean, it's not a small amount, unfortunately, but I think it's just, if you have the ability to generate $100 and put it towards that, I just think it's definitely, you're going to get your money's worth out of it, especially with the access to Maximo. If you work Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash, game changing. And it would be better than spending $100 on like a truly cheap Android, because you can, the functionality of the iPhone SNE. And again, I want to test it out myself to see, but everything I researched on it, that is the best route, because I've been thinking to myself, I'd like to put out content in support of driver utility app, but also how can an iPhone user get into that app and get the best experience. All right, guys, I'm going to run in here, pick up this order. $6.50 order from McDonald's, going basically about a half mile down the road on the way here. Most of the miles, it was listed as 3, but most of the miles we're getting here. So I will be right back. All right, guys, so the order was sort of almost ready. I had to wait a little bit, but overall it wasn't too bad. Let's see here. So we have a 3-minute ride to the customer. So as I said, it literally is right around the corner. And let me get this. Jesus. Wow. I don't know if you all saw that, but There was a near collision behind me. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. He's like hopping spots. He's all, I'm almost a little afraid to drive behind him. Or her. Jesus. Fortunately, in my area, there are a lot of near collisions that I see while I'm out because people do not drive very sensibly. All right, so this is a hand it to me order, it looks like. All right. All right, so here we are. Let's go. We got 2 minutes to go. And unfortunately, this McDonald's shares, again, a parking lot of a Walmart. And I will tell you what, that is one of the only downsides to this McDonald's, because this McDonald's does a pretty good job. Most of the McDonald's I don't deal with because they're normally just have terrible staff that are very rude, and orders are never ready on time, and it's just always a mess. And you get a lot of the notifications where your order has changed, which means that that something got forgotten. And of course, you know, McDonald's bags are sealed in my area, so I have no responsibility. I can't even check what's in there. I, you know, will ask or look at the ticket or the receipt. But this one does a good job. It's just that you can get down, to get to the McDonald's, you have to go like literally through the Walmart parking lot, and it can get pretty hairy going through there. As far as there's a couple stop signs that are right in front, and you can it could take sometimes 5 to 10 minutes just to get out of the parking lot, which kills, especially up here. A lot of these orders are like $6 and $7, and there's nothing that kills your cash flow than having a $6 order go 25 minutes, you know, and then you're like, what the heck? So we'll see. If I don't expect there to be any extra tip on this being a $6.50 order, but there could be. I expect this is one that was bid up, is why it's at $6.50, and it was I'm probably going to see a $2.50 base pay and probably a $4 tip, but I could be wrong. This could also mean that I'm getting $2.25 and $5, which could also be a possibility. So I guess we're thinking payout instead of the $7.50 or $6.50, but we'll see. Let's see here. Let's try to find this customer. Here we are. All right. Let's get this delivered here. So guys, I was actually right about what it was. I don't know if you guys could see that. I'll just tell you, it's probably going to be hard to focus in on the camera, but the payout ended up being $2.25 and $5. So I was wrong to think that it was going to be a bid up order, but that does happen more than the higher order around here, at least. But I'm happy that in this case was the case. So I will add in the financial figures when I get up to the stop time. But that wasn't a bad order at all, really. It was actually pretty quick in terms of I had to deliver it in 15 minutes to make that at least a $25 higher order value. And we ended up doing it in 15 minutes. So let's see here. And then, of course, we've got the extra tip. So that's going to increase the value of the order to us. So that ended up being a $29 order value. So that's actually not bad at all for a little small short run McDonald's order. Now we can continue on to Hagerstown. And here's the interesting until 7:41. And I was only scheduled to dash till 7:30. So I don't know if they're letting me dash a little bit when I get up there or not. We'll see. It'll be interesting to find out. If that's the case, I hope they do. I know they've got availability at 8:30, but I think I'll probably already be done by then because I'm only going to be able to dash till about 8 tonight. So just in case you guys are wondering, I've made tonight $74.79. And I've been out since about 3 o'clock. So it was very slow at the beginning. Like I said, I went up to Charlestown Market, so some of that time is travel time. But I pretty much dashed for the most part all the way up to Charlestown. So it's not been a great day in terms of steady flow, because once I got to Charlestown, I did basically 2 orders up there, and one of them of which got me my contract violation. And then after I got that contract violation, I was like, you know what? I sat for a little bit. I went to a spot where it was really bad. It was really slow. So I said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not hanging around. Sit up here. Nothing was popping off on Grub or even Uber Eats. So that market is literally hot or cold. So then I started heading back down here and realized I couldn't get on in Martinsburg, and I still had to go to Hagerstown anyways. So I thought, you know what? I can dash along the way to Hagerstown, and it worked out very well. I've actually made on my dash along the way, which has been since we've been together, I made $25.32. So that's not bad at all for a dash along the way. And we began this at 6:18. It is now 7:18. So we, in an hour, oh, here we go. Dollar General. How many items are you asking me to pick up? 18 items for $12.25, 6.2 miles. We will decline that. No, not at dinner time. Give me some sushi action from the sushi restaurant up here, and I would absolutely do it for $12.25, 6 miles. But I'm not going to shop 18 items at the Dollar General. Most of the Dollar Generals, I don't know if you guys have them in your area, but they have a very hard time keeping inventory levels where they need to be at, and it takes a long time because you end up having to interact with the customer. My fill rate normally is like an average of 98% fill rate over time. I've gone in and looked at that data. So I do a good job normally of trying to find substitutions or actually, trying to find the items that the customers request. But I have found my favorite to shop for DoorDash is Wise Markets. I don't know if you guys have them in your market, but Wise Markets are very well laid out. DoorDash has done a fantastic job of interacting with their store, at least those stores I go into, and it really makes for a smooth shop, almost to the level of with Instacart. I think Food Line with Instacart is absolutely premier. I will shop any Food Line, order for Instacart, because they've just, in my opinion, done such a great job laying out the locations. It's almost like a Walmart Spark shop, which Walmart does a good job of bringing you to items. So I can do a Walmart Spark shop in, no time at all. Although nowadays it seems there's a lot of items that are out of stock. So that kind of creates issues too when you got to go. But we'll see with Walmart Spark, I don't mind that as much, because Walmart Spark will just let you pretty much, if it's not there, you just move on. But So I'm hoping to at least clear $100 today. That'd be nice. And I only need about 25 bucks more. So I'm hoping that between now and maybe, you know, I'm probably not going to take an order past 8 o'clock. That when I get up here, maybe I'm hoping that if I'm still able to take advantage of the large order program, given my current situation with the contract violation, I'm hoping that I should hopefully be able to, if I am eligible to see large order program orders, maybe grab one of those that could be worth something, but who knows? I don't know. Hello to whoever just joined us. But we'll see what happens. And it's starting probably also too, it'll be time to end the live because you won't be able to see me, unfortunately. In fact, I will show you guys what I'm seeing right now on the road. I don't know if it's coming through well, but you can see it looks like there's some dark clouds in the distance. And you're about to see when we go over the bridge, you have to cross the Potomac River. So you'll see that as well. Makes for a nice view. And that's every time you cross into the state of Maryland. So it's where I'm located. I'm right outside of Washington, D.C. So it's not true West Virginia. The rest of the state doesn't really claim us as to how close we are to the D.C. We're basically a D.C. suburb, but it kind of makes for an interesting. You'd think, well, that would mean you have pretty valuable dashing. It is, but a lot of people leave during the day, so your dash times are a little tighter up here because a lot of times people are not in the area, you know, unless it's summertime or people or whatever, or there's a holiday. But on the weekends, it's pretty good. But on the weekdays, it can get pretty. And here we are, we're crossing the Potomac. I don't know how, looks like you can see a little bit. But it really does create, you know, issues when it comes to trying to figure out when to dash. Now, people do love to do Instacart and the shopping apps because they will schedule those things normally to be delivered in the afternoon and or in the evening times, especially in the evening times, because people, of the fact that they are commuting, aren't wanting to stop off at the store and do their own shopping. So those are really popular around here. And the food delivery is okay. Like I said, it's evening times. It's always good. I think we have a lot of good opportunity because of the fact that people are commuting, they're not wanting to really go out when they get home. So they want us to deliver the food for them. But it's just the lunch shifts can be really dire and terrible. And if you know, for me as a dad, I have sometimes a few days a week at least things I got to do with my sons and practices and stuff. So it's like sometimes I'm only trying to work the lunches, and you can go out and sometimes you have a great lunch, and then there's a lot of times you might end up making 30 bucks, and it's not great. So all right, so we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna take you guys up with me to the mall area where there's a few good restaurants up here. There's Buffalo Wild Wings, Outback, BJ's Brew House, Sakura Japanese Restaurant, Sushi Bomb. There's a couple places that have Red Lobster, Olive Garden, although Olive Garden's not on the platforms, but Red Lobster is. You've got a couple of Mexican restaurants. We're gonna go up here, see if we can find something. And if I don't get anything right away or within a few minutes, I'll probably end the live and go run the errand that I needed to run anyways when I got up here. Like I said, I don't know how long DoorDash is going to let me on. They've extended me to actually 8 p.m. So I've got 35 minutes left. So I hope that means they will give me an order. Well, we'll see. So our first order of the day is a turn down. It was $4.50 BJ Brew House, 4.5 miles. No way in the world. That was terrible. That is the issue up here with Hagerstown. When I first started door dashing, I came up here to Hagerstown because I thought it was going to be decent because it's a little bit more of a larger population. But it's what I learned is it's actually, even though it's got a larger population, the cost, the median income here is actually lower than my own home market, which I was shocked about. And it really makes a difference in people's tips, because I believe most people would tip, but a lot of times people don't tip what they don't have. So now some would make the case don't use a service like this, but you know, obviously DoorDash is not going to make that statement to the customers, and they're going to let them on the platform. But you know, the issue here really is not necessarily no tipping, it's really poor tipping. So you see you're going to drive a lot of miles that are not going to be financed. You're going to, you know, and that's not acceptable. So if you come up here and cherry pick, you're going to spend a lot of time waiting, and you may not find the order that you're looking for. Now we just got a Noodles and Company, one item, 755 miles, that's a decline. And then the other thing is there's a lot of road construction that's been going on for the last 2 years up here. So the miles are about 3.5 to 4 minute miles. So that 5 mile Noodles and Company order for $7. Now here we go. BJ's House, $15, 12.2 miles. Robinwood. I know where this is going. That sounds terrible on the miles. It's really not. We're going to go ahead and accept that and see, because it's not as bad as it sounds. I know exactly where it's going. I know how to get there quick. DoorDash. But for $15, we're doing it, and I think I can get there faster. We'll see. This is a kind of an experiment. But for me up here, you got to get money out of it. You got to get the money volume, and that's what we just got. So we'll see if it works out for us. Let's see here. BJ's. Now the question here will be whether or not this order will be ready or not when I go in here. And I haven't worked this market in a long time, but that was always about a 50% chance it was ready. And we have 36 minutes to deliver this order. And let me turn the camera back around. I apologize. We have 36 minutes to deliver this order. So we'll see how this works out. And then the best part about this is it'll put us only about $10 away from my goal of 100. And over where we're going to deliver this to, there are restaurants out there that can give us an order. They might give us a decent order, and we'll see. The thing we don't want to have happen is that we have to backtrack all the way here. That would be a killer. Gosh, there's the flip. All right, there we go. So we'll see, and let me just zoom in on that. Yep. It might be going to my wife's work, actually. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see. That would be crazy. All right. So DoorDash offered that to us at a $20 order value. So I always find that interesting to see what are they valuing my time at. And that sounds about right up here. We're going to exit. We're going to arrive at the store. We're going to look at we got strawberry lemonade, couscous mac and cheese, bone-in wings, and broccoli soup. It's definitely not a high value order. So this person is just being extremely generous. Orders, let's see here. So let's see if we can see the value, the order info. Nope, they're not showing us the price. I'd say it's probably probably $45 for all of that here. BJ's knowing the pricing scheme that I know. So I will be back, guys. Let me go in here and get this picked up. Hopefully it's ready to go. How to add taking a screenshot to my verbal commands. Oh, public, if you're still there, how did you do that? Let me know. That would be cool. I'd like to set that up on my iPhones. I just saw the chat. I apologize. I'm not sure how to get it to come up all the time. So I can see it, but I guess I must have come through. All right, I will be right back. right, guys, back. So let's head to this customer's house here and get this delivered. All right, so it does not look like we're going to my wife's work. Let's see. Let's head on out here. All right, so yeah, just to give you guys an update on what was going on there. There was a little bit of a wait. Obviously, anybody who was here when I went in would, you know, probably clocked in about a 10-minute wait, 8 to 10 minute wait, which is on par with what I remember having dealt with this particular restaurant. And they've actually changed up their to-go area. They used to have a really nice little area where they put all the orders at. I'm assuming, as a lot of restaurants, that's in reaction to probably an issue with people coming and grabbing dash orders and them getting reports of orders not being delivered. I don't know for certain, but I think that's probably a potential possibility. But there was a little bit of a wait, so I sat there and picked out my dinner for the evening. I have to send that to my wife. So took that opportunity to look at the menu for the restaurant we're going to be eating at, and that'll be one of my stops up here to pick up on my way back out of here to DoorDash for herself. Save myself some delivery fees and everything else. But yeah, so it was a little bit, I made it productive. But we'll see here. The key to this, as I was saying before, I took this order. It's $15. You know, there's a good volume of money in the order right now, just on the face. I probably don't think that I'll see anything extra, although I could. I was wrong last time. So guys, if you're just joining, I just saw somebody join. We're working a $15 BJ Brewhouse order. I don't think I'll see any extra, but I could. This market's base pay, unless they raised since I've been up, is $2.25. So I'm assuming, due to the fact that I'm driving a little bit, that there's probably going to be an increase in pay. So I'm thinking I'll probably be seeing a $3 base pay, maybe a $12 payout, or maybe I'll see a $10.50 payout and a $4.50 base. I don't know. We'll see. This area is one of the areas that tends to have increase in base pay because of how poor the tipping is. But in this case, it looks like we have a pretty good tip on here. I'm going to turn it around so you guys can see the highway, since I can't really be seen right now. And then when we get done with this order, due to the lighting conditions, I'll probably go ahead and just end the screen, but I'll take you guys along with me so you can see the final payout. And then, like I said, this puts me at about $90 for the evening. And it's looking like we're going to at 7:58, and I'll have about 2 to 3 minutes to get another order. So, as I said, I'm not going to take an order past 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to have to call my wife as well to talk to her about some things. So I'm going to definitely have to end the live stream and go from there. So you're going to notice right away when you're looking at this market versus the market we were just in, it's a lot less rural, okay? It's a lot less trees. It's a lot more highway. It's a lot more pavement. And you're going to notice that right away. And I always found that to be really kind of interesting, that within like 5 miles of each other, the world can change so drastically with what you see up here as far as the looked, and then down there. Now, you know, unfortunately, it means also that there's a lot more traffic up here. Now, you're going to see a lot of road construction coming up here. This is the killer area right here. That this road construction during the day, it's worked during the day. Why that makes any sense to anyone, I have no idea. But they do this during the day, and it kills any opportunity you might have. You see, this is an area up here that actually does have strong businesses, a strong business clientele. So there is a strong potential for lunch up here. And the large order program, the one catering order I've done, I've only done one catering order in my entire lifetime, and that was not this past Friday, but Friday before. It was a really decent one. It was like $30 from the Popeyes right at my house. I normally do the Popeyes. I was very impressed with the experience I had, and I did the Popeyes. I did that, and it actually took me up here to Hagerstown. And I was talking to my wife, and she said, you know, you could probably get a lot of catering, a lot of large order programs during lunchtime, because there's a lot of businesses up here. There's a lot of medical practices up here that have large staffs that would provide the potential for, you know, on Fridays, Thursdays, or different times of the week, that they would maybe be doing big group lunches or whatnot. And you might see those higher ticket items. The only question is whether or not you get tipped decently or not. Now, the one catering order I did, I got tipped pretty good. It was like a $25 tip. It's like a $200 order. I thought it was pretty good. I know there's been a lot of people out there that have gotten better than that. I've seen screenshots of the orders, but for me, that was pretty decent. Still doesn't beat my Uber Eats. I got tipped, I think it was $45 on an Uber Eats one evening. It was actually a double order, and it started out, I think it was like $60. It showed, I think it showed like $22, and it was like 2 orders, and the base pays on both of the orders were like $16, and then it showed, I guess it showed, well, no, what did it show? So it was showing like 30 something, but I don't know. It was huge. It was nice. That made my evening. When those came through, I was like, holy cow. But that's why you gotta stay consistent, and that's what I found. And DoorDash, all of these apps, I call it, they try to disrupt your consistency. And what I mean by that is, you know, you've got to consistently pick orders that make sense to your value needs. But DoorDash and all of these apps don't care about that. They care about you meeting their financial needs. So, what does that mean? That means they're going to constantly try to get you to take orders that are against your own benefit, while sometimes giving you orders that benefit you. But there's going to be orders out there, because they're really, the thing about it is, I think people complicate things greatly, because the reality of DoorDash is, you know, there's not holding queues for orders or anything like that. DoorDash is interested in one thing, and my wife has a DoorDash account. We went out dashing a couple times together, and I found it very interesting, because we were dashing from the same vehicle, and we were kind of just doing a deal where it was like, take whoever has the better order will take it, turn off the other app, pause the other app. And I found it interesting that DoorDash, you know, would send me the order and send her the order. And it didn't matter. I mean, you know, there were certain orders that didn't come through to me, I think, because of the fact that I have a little more experience, and she didn't have her shop card at the time. She now does have, so we've got to go out again and see how it goes now that she's got her shop card. She wasn't getting shopping delivers and stuff like that, but it was bouncy just between us. Sometimes I'd get it first, sometimes she would get it first. And that really, you know, because there was a couple times I wanted to try Spearmint, and I said, no, I'm not interested in it. And really on the ones that were these small orders, I actually saw DoorDash increasing the amount when it would go to her and then go to me, or go to me and go to her. And it didn't matter about maybe it does matter a little bit about ratings, but I think people are overcomplicating what DoorDash is doing. And it's really about where you're at, your proximity to the restaurant, and then they're going to send you the order. And if there's 5 dashers sitting there, now they might give one of those dashers. They got to figure out how to break the tie. So I think they're going to look at some ratings and say, all right, ratings, experience, how many dashes. But I think if you're a highly rated dasher with lots of dashes, you're going to get priority over somebody who's got 5 dashes and a 5-star rating because they got 1 5-star rating. That's just going to happen. So all this focus on priority, as long as DoorDash keeps allowing anyone and everyone to sign up for their platform and they keep jamming the areas with dashers, which is what they want to do because they're trying to get people to be willing to get the orders, then we're going to have what we have. It's going to be a struggle. There's really not much that we can do about that besides go out and make sure that when you're looking at the orders that you're going to take, you make sure that order makes financial sense for you and only you. And that's really all that matters. It's, does that order make sense to you? But you need to know you need to know the basics of what orders are going to make sense and know how it cash flows out and be looking constantly at outcomes and try to use those outcomes to try to help you get a better outcome next. Because you're never going to no market is the same. And again, having 3 to 4 different markets in very, very close proximity, I can tell you right now, the Hagerstown to the Martinsburg to the Charlestown market, they are drastically different in how you work each market. And if you take the strategy of one and apply it to the other, you're not going to get good results. And the only way you're going to be able to get good results is you've got to keep track of your stats and then go back and look and say, hey, what was the outcomes? And if I didn't like the outcome of the shift, well, can I go back and pinpoint, where it went awry? And I've been able to do that at times. Oh my, that's this individual just about caused an accident. All right, wow. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox on all of that, but that's just, why it's important to me. I think one of the most important things we as gig business operators need to do is keep track of the stats that we're taking and being able to create data for ourselves and data points that we can use and refer back to when we don't like the outcome, and then making adjustments, figuring out what the right price point is for a market, and just trying to figure it out, because there are different price points. In other words, if you decide you're only going to take $10 orders in a particular market, and then you go out and you go, man, I only made $40. Well, that market probably didn't have enough orders to support what you were asking from it. But that doesn't also mean that you need to go into the market and say, well, I'll just take anything $5 or higher regardless of anything else. And then you go, wow, I did a lot of orders tonight, but I still only made, I didn't make what I wanted to make. Maybe I did 8 orders and made $40, and you're like, I'm not happy with that. Well, that's because you had too low of orders. So we are about 4 minutes from the customer, guys. Like I said, we will make this delivery and then I'm going to end the live. And I'll tell you, we should be ending at, unless there's extra tip, I should end the live and be at $90 for the day. I got started about 3 o'clock. You do the math on that. We're pushing we're in our 5th hour, so it's sub $20 for time out. Now, time delivering is a totally different story. I've probably spent about, I don't know, if I have to look, probably 3 hours delivering total. It's been a lot of waiting, a lot of driving, a lot of movement between markets. It is what it is. So here we are, and it is completely dark. Even if I turn this camera around, nobody would be able to see me. So it's definitely time to end the live once this order is done. So I appreciate everybody that jumped in and out. anybody that's watching right now, I know I have one watcher. So whoever you are, thank you for watching. Sticking through to the end. Say hi in the chat. Or say bye in the chat. And, you know, like I said, we're about 3 minutes out. And, you know, like I said, frustrating night to a degree. Didn't make nearly what I wanted to make. And then, of course, I'm taking home a contract violation. And again, you know, if it's something I did, you know, rightfully did, I can live with that, you know. But when it's something like what happened to me, where my phone is not operating, and again, I know it's my phone, so I guess in the end, it's my responsibility to make sure I have hardware that works. But I mean, these Android phones, unfortunately, is great as they are with functionality. Sometimes I guess it's that extra functionality, what allows them to be as functional as they are as tools for us, tends to sometimes be the very thing that ends up hurting us in the end. So, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So the good news is I guess this will be my 4th order, I think, since the contract violation. So I am now 96 orders away from getting rid of the contract violation. I got to do 100 clean orders with no issues, with no functional issues, which is kind of scary, because it's like when something like that happens, it's beyond your control, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go out and try to do this, and then it's like, well, what happens if another one happens? You know, I hope it doesn't, you know, but certainly makes me want to use my iPhone instead and just say, you know, is it really worth it? And I don't know. I think it is. I mean, I love the experience that the Samsung phones have given me with gig work, and especially with the driver utility app and the Maximo app and the way they effortlessly work together. But there are some concerns I've had about whether or not, sometimes one of them being connectivity issues. I feel like there seems to be sometimes an issue with connectivity, and you know, I've somewhat proven it when I've run my iPhone with the DoorDash app, but I've never run them on the same, you know, network, because it's always a contrasting network. So I can't yet conclusively say it's not the phone network. All right, let's see here. God, it's dark. I'm going to turn you guys into the car just out of privacy. Oh, there we go. All right, good. Jesus, it's dark out here. Thank God that was easy to find. All right. So let's exit out. Leave lights on before you leave on grill. Leave on grill. We can do that. And complete delivery steps. Whoops, get back. Get the camera app up. All right, guys, let me go get this delivered.
Delivery completed. Base pay $4.50. Customer tip $10.50. Delivery total $15.
And talk about knowing your market, guys. That was, you just heard, should have heard the final order. I predicted extra tip, number one, or not extra tip, extra base pay. I was correct. And I pretty much predicted the exact payout. It was $4.50 and $10.50 tip. So order value wise, $3.40. Wow. So $35.45 order value. And Uber just shot us an order. Uber's big up here. I'm shocked I hadn't gotten an Uber order yet, but Uber's huge up here, and it is absolutely one of the worst Uber markets I've ever experienced. They are some of the lowest of the low ball orders. So let's see here. Let's make sure I got the screenshot of that. I don't know if I did or not. I can't remember. Allow. Save. Got it. All right. So, and here we go, guys. Wow. Okay. And this is the example. I'm going to leave the live stream here right after this, but here I am, right? It just somehow this order processed out, showed me the payout, and then now it reversed itself. Oh, and now I'm off shift. You have another dash starting soon. Change dash, delete dash, and let's dash now and see if we can get one more order for $10. Anyways, these are the issues that come up that are crazy with Android. That it's like it processed the order out, that just lifetime here just reversed itself, and then I had to go in and out of the app, and then of course I guess it was 8 o'clock, so I lost my shift, and now I'm on a new shift. And here we go, McDonald's $3.75.
Order from McDonald's.
So it's going to go ahead and turn that down for me. So anyways, guys, I don't know. Those are the downsides. Sometimes some of the functionality that Android brings can be really incredible, and sometimes it's not. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the dash or end the live. I'm going to focus on trying to find this final $10 and then go run some errands that I need to run. And I appreciate you guys joining with me. I appreciate anybody that was in or popped in and said hi. So have a good evening. Stay safe out there if you're dashing too. Be profitable. Focus on order value, guys. That is the key. Okay, that is the key to you making money. And I appreciate it. Say bye and hi in the comments. And if you're watching this post, thanks for watching. Give me a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Talk to you soon.